In the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal 15 major soda brands that contain high fructose corn syrup, synthetic preservatives, and artificial additives you've been drinking for years without question. Plus, I'll show you the 3 brands that prove soda can be made with real sugar and simple ingredients. Stay until the end, because number 1 on the safer list will completely change your approach to choosing beverages. Let's start with what's sitting in your refrigerator right now. 15. Crush Orange Soda. Starting at number 15, Crush Orange has been around since 1916. But that nostalgia doesn't protect you from what's inside each can today. The ingredient list reveals high fructose corn syrup as a primary sweetener, along with sodium benzoate serving as a preservative. What makes Crush particularly concerning for those of us watching what we consume is the inclusion of 2 color additives, yellow 6 and red 40. These synthetic dyes exist solely to make the soda look more appealing, serving no nutritional purpose whatsoever. For older adults who grew up when Crush meant simple orange flavor, it's disappointing to see how far the formula has drifted from anything resembling real fruit. The combination of high fructose corn syrup with artificial colors creates a drink that's more chemical laboratory than Citrus Grove, and your body recognizes that difference even if your taste buds have adapted over decades. 14. Sun-Kissed Orange Soda. At number 14, Sun-Kissed. Orange carries a name that evokes California sunshine and fresh citrus, but the reality inside the can tells a different story. The ingredient list includes high fructose corn syrup and sodium benzoate as a preservative, standard for mass-market sodas, but problematic for regular consumption. What sets Sun-Kissed apart is the addition of caffeine, an unexpected ingredient in an orange soda that many people drink without realizing they're getting a stimulant dose. For those of us in our middle years who might be monitoring caffeine intake for blood pressure or sleep quality, that hidden caffeine becomes a real concern. The sodium benzoate preservative extends shelf life considerably, allowing Sun-Kissed to sit in warehouses and on store shelves for months. But that convenience comes at the cost of adding another synthetic compound to your system with every sip. 13. Mug Root Beer. Coming in at number 13, Mug Root Beer delivers that classic root beer taste many of us remember from childhood, but the ingredient list reveals how modern production has changed the formula. The soda contains high fructose corn syrup and caramel color, creating that distinctive dark appearance without using traditional ingredients. What makes Mug particularly concerning is the inclusion of both sodium benzoate to preserve freshness and calcium disodium acetate specifically added to protect flavor. That means 2 separate preservative compounds working to keep this soda shelf-stable for extended periods. For anyone who grew up drinking root beer floats at the local diner, it's sobering to realize that today's Mug achieves its color through caramel additives and its longevity through synthetic preservatives rather than the quality ingredients that created the root beer tradition. 12. Barq's Root Beer. At number 12, Barq's Root Beer markets itself with the slogan, "Barq's has bite," but that bite comes partially from ingredients beyond traditional root beer flavoring. The ingredient list shows high fructose corn syrup and caramel color, creating the foundation, similar to other mass-market root beers. What distinguishes Barq's from its competitors is the inclusion of caffeine, making it one of the few caffeinated root beers on the market. That unexpected stimulant catches many people off guard, particularly older adults who might choose root beer specifically because they assume it's caffeine-free. The sodium benzoate added to protect taste ensures long shelf life, but it also means another synthetic preservative entering your system. For those of us who remember when root beer meant a simple, caffeine-free alternative to colas, Barq's represents how far the category has drifted from its roots. 11. A&W Root Beer. Approaching number 11, A&W Root Beer carries tremendous nostalgia for anyone who remembers drive-in restaurants and frosty mugs, but the modern formula contains ingredients that would surprise those nostalgic diners. The soda includes high fructose corn, syrup and caramel color as foundational ingredients, standard for today's root beers but far removed from traditional recipes. A&W also contains sodium benzoate as a preservative and relies on natural and artificial flavors to create that distinctive root beer taste. For older adults who grew up when A&W meant thick, creamy root beer served in glass mugs, It's disappointing to see how the formula now depends on synthetic preservatives and undisclosed flavoring compounds. The natural and artificial flavors designation particularly concerns those of us trying to understand exactly what we're consuming, since manufacturers aren't required to detail what chemicals hide behind that vague term. 10. Canada Dry Ginger Ale. At number 10, Canada Dry Ginger Ale has served as a trusted stomach soother and mixer for generations. But examining today's ingredient list reveals a formula quite different from what many imagine. The soda contains high fructose corn syrup as its sweetener, along with sodium benzoate and potassium sorbate serving as dual preservatives. What makes Canada Dry particularly concerning is the addition of Red 40, a synthetic color additive that serves no purpose in a beverage marketed for its pale, natural appearance and supposed digestive benefits. For those of us who turn to ginger ale when feeling under the weather, or who remember it as a gentle, simple drink, learning that it contains both high fructose corn syrup and artificial coloring undermines that wholesome image. The combination of two separate preservative systems plus artificial color creates a drink far more chemically complex than the simple ginger beverage our parents and grandparents trusted. 9. 7-Up. Coming in at number 9, 7-Up markets itself as the Un Cola and emphasizes its clear, crisp image. But the ingredient simplicity that slogan suggests doesn't match reality. The soda contains high fructose corn syrup as its primary sweetener, immediately placing it alongside the colas it claims to differentiate from. What sets 7-Up apart on our concern list is the inclusion of calcium disodium EDTA, added specifically to protect flavor during storage and distribution. For older adults who remember when 7-Up meant a lighter, supposedly healthier alternative to darker sodas, discovering that it relies on the same high fructose corn syrup and requires synthetic flavor protection undermines that perception. The EDTA compound particularly concerns those of us trying to minimize synthetic additives, since this ingredient exists solely to extend shelf life rather than provide any benefit to the person drinking it. 8. Fanta Orange. At number 8, Fanta Orange bursts with bright color and sweet flavor that appeals to nostalgia for many who grew up with this Coca-Cola product. But that vibrant orange hue comes at a cost. The ingredient list reveals high fructose corn syrup and sodium benzoate to protect taste. Standard for mass-market sodas, but increasingly problematic for health-conscious consumers. What makes Fanta particularly concerning is the reliance on color additives Yellow 6 and Red 40 to achieve that distinctive bright orange appearance. These synthetic dyes serve purely aesthetic purposes, making the drink look more appealing without providing any nutritional value whatsoever. For those of us old enough to remember when orange soda seemed like a fun, harmless treat, learning that today's formula depends on multiple artificial colors plus synthetic preservatives transforms that innocent childhood memory into a more complicated adult reality. 7. Sprite. At number 7, Sprite positions itself as a clean, refreshing lemon-lime soda without the caramel coloring of darker beverages. But clear doesn't necessarily mean clean when you examine the ingredient list. The soda contains high fructose corn syrup as its sweetener, immediately raising concerns for anyone monitoring sugar intake or trying to avoid corn-derived ingredients. Sprite also includes both sodium benzoate and potassium sorbate, two separate preservatives added to protect taste during the extended shelf life required by global distribution. For older adults who grew up when Sprite represented a lighter, supposedly healthier alternative to colas, discovering that it contains the same high fructose corn syrup and requires dual preservative systems to maintain freshness challenges that wholesome perception. The fact that even clear sodas need multiple synthetic compounds to remain shelf-stable for months reveals how far modern production has moved from the simple carbonated beverages of previous generations. 6. Mountain Dew. Moving to number 6, Mountain Dew has built a reputation for extreme energy and bold flavor, but that intensity comes from a concerning combination of ingredients. The soda contains high fructose corn syrup and caffeine, delivering both sugar and stimulant in substantial quantities. What makes Mountain Dew particularly problematic is the inclusion of sodium benzoate as a preservative, calcium disodium EDTA to protect flavor, and Yellow 5 as a color additive. That's 3 separate synthetic compounds beyond the core ingredients, each added to enhance shelf life, protect taste during storage, or create visual appeal. For those of us past middle age who might be monitoring caffeine intake, blood sugar, or trying to reduce synthetic additives, Mountain Dew represents a perfect storm of concerning ingredients. The bright yellow-green color that defines the brand comes entirely from Yellow 5, a synthetic dye that serves no purpose beyond making the drink look more extreme and appealing to younger consumers. 5. Dr. Pepper. Approaching our top 5 worst offenders, Dr. Pepper holds a special place in American soda culture with its unique blend of 23 flavors. But that complexity now includes ingredients beyond what flavor nostalgia suggests. The soda contains high fructose corn syrup and caramel color, creating the distinctive, dark appearance that defines Dr. Pepper's visual identity. The ingredient list also reveals sodium benzoate, serving as a preservative and natural and artificial flavors that supposedly create that signature taste. For older adults who've been drinking Dr. Pepper for decades and remember when it seemed like a unique, almost sophisticated alternative to simple colas, learning that the modern formula relies on synthetic preservatives and undisclosed flavoring compounds challenges that premium perception. The natural and artificial flavors designation particularly concerns those of us trying to understand exactly what we're consuming, since that vague term can hide dozens of different chemical compounds that manufacturers aren't required to specify. 4. Pepsi. At number 4, Pepsi represents one of America's most iconic beverages and fiercest brand loyalties, but examining the ingredient list reveals why that loyalty might be misplaced. The soda contains high fructose corn syrup and caramel, color as foundational ingredients, along with phosphoric acid and caffeine that give Pepsi its distinctive sharp taste and stimulant effect. For those of us who grew up during the Cola Wars and developed strong preferences between Pepsi and Coke, it's sobering to realize both rely on essentially the same concerning ingredients. The phosphoric acid adds tartness, but also raises concerns for bone health, particularly relevant for older adults already monitoring calcium intake and bone density. The combination of high fructose corn syrup delivering sugar, caffeine providing stimulation, and phosphoric acid adding acidity creates a drink that impacts your body in multiple ways with every sip, far beyond simple refreshment. 3. Coca-Cola Original Taste. Claiming the number 3 spot, Coca-Cola Original Taste stands as perhaps the world's most recognized beverage. But that global dominance doesn't change what's actually inside each can or bottle. The ingredient list includes high fructose, corn syrup, and caramel color, creating both sweetness and that distinctive dark appearance that defines Coca-Cola. The formula also contains phosphoric acid and caffeine, combining acidity with stimulation in ways that make the drink more complex than simple carbonated sugar water. For older adults who've been drinking Coca-Cola since childhood and who remember when it seemed like an innocent treat, understanding that the modern formula delivers high fructose corn syrup, synthetic coloring, bone-concerning acid, and caffeine in every serving transforms that nostalgic beverage into something more complicated. The phosphoric acid particularly matters for those of us past middle age, since research continues exploring connections between phosphoric acid consumption and calcium absorption, relevant for maintaining bone health as we age. 2. Diet Pepsi. Coming in at number 2, Diet Pepsi promises 0 calories and 0 sugar, seemingly offering guilt-free soda enjoyment. But that promise comes through artificial sweeteners that raise their own concerns. The ingredient list reveals aspartame and acetylsulfame potassium, serving as dual artificial sweeteners, creating sweetness without calories through synthetic compounds. Diet Pepsi also contains potassium benzoate to preserve freshness and caramel color for appearance. For older adults who switched to diet sodas decades ago, believing they were making a healthier choice, emerging research about artificial sweeteners complicates that decision. The aspartame particularly concerns many consumers, with ongoing debates about long-term effects and the mandatory phenylalanine warning that appears on every Diet Pepsi package. The combination of 2 different artificial sweeteners plus synthetic preservatives and coloring creates a drink that's chemically complex despite containing 0 calories, raising questions about whether artificial ingredients offer a fair trade for avoiding natural sugar. 1. Diet Coke. taking the #1 spot as the most concerning mainstream soda you can drink. Diet Coke combines maximum artificial sweetening with synthetic preservation in one iconic red can. The ingredient list includes aspartame along with a phenylalanine warning statement that appears on every package, alerting consumers with phenylketonuria to avoid the product. Diet Coke also contains potassium benzoate to protect taste and caramel color to maintain that signature appearance. What makes Diet Coke particularly problematic is its absolute dominance in the diet soda market, meaning millions of Americans consume these artificial sweeteners and preservatives daily, often multiple times per day, believing they're making the healthier choice by avoiding sugar. For those of us who remember when diet sodas first appeared and seemed like a miracle solution for weight management, decades of research have revealed that artificial sweeteners may affect metabolism, gut bacteria, and taste preferences in ways that undermine the original health promises. The aspartame debate particularly matters for regular consumers, with the phenylalanine warning serving as a constant reminder that this isn't a simple natural product despite the familiar taste and branding. After walking through 15 brands that prioritize shelf life and cost savings over ingredient quality, here's the relief you've been waiting for. Not every soda company has chosen the path of high fructose corn syrup and synthetic additives. 3 brands prove that carbonated beverages can still be made with real ingredients, honest sweeteners, and respect for consumers who care about what they drink. These aren't perfect health foods, but they represent what soda can be when companies prioritize quality over maximum profit margins. The 3 safer soda brands. 3. Reed's Ginger Beer Extra Craft. Starting our safer list at number 3, Reed's Ginger Beer Extra Craft represents what happens when a beverage company chooses quality ingredients over industrial shortcuts. Reed's explicitly states they sweeten with cane sugar or honey, completely avoiding the high fructose corn syrup that dominates mainstream sodas. When you examine a Reed's ingredient panel, you'll find cane sugar and pressed organic ginger listed prominently, with no artificial preservatives appearing anywhere on the label. For older adults who remember when ginger ale and ginger beer meant real ginger flavor and simple ingredients, Reed's delivers on that nostalgic promise while meeting modern quality standards. The use of actual pressed organic ginger means you're getting genuine root flavor with natural compounds intact, not artificial flavoring designed to approximate ginger taste. 2. Zevia Cola. At number 2, Zevia Cola revolutionizes the diet soda category by proving you don't need aspartame or artificial ingredients to create zero-sugar carbonated beverages. Zevia sweetens exclusively with stevia leaf extract, a plant-derived sweetener that delivers 0 calories without synthetic compounds. The brand earned non-GMO project verification, providing third-party confirmation that no genetically modified ingredients enter their production process. For health-conscious adults who abandon diet sodas after learning about artificial sweetener concerns but still crave carbonated beverages, Zevia offers a genuine alternative worth exploring. What makes Zevia particularly appealing for those of us past middle age is the transparency about ingredients and the commitment to avoiding both high fructose corn syrup and artificial sweeteners. 1. Main Root Mexicaine Cola. Taking the top spot as the absolute best mainstream soda choice available, Main Root Mexicaine Cola represents everything carbonated beverages should be when companies prioritize quality over quarterly profits. The ingredient list uses fair trade certified organic cane sugar instead of high fructose corn syrup, immediately distinguishing Main Root from virtually every conventional soda. When you read the complete ingredient list, you'll notice it's remarkably short and completely free of synthetic preservatives like sodium benzoate or potassium sorbate that appear in mainstream brands. The fair trade certified organic cane sugar matters on multiple levels. It means no pesticides or synthetic fertilizers in production, fair wages for farmers growing the cane, and genuine sugar taste rather than the distinctive sharpness high fructose corn syrup imparts. For older adults who remember when Coca-Cola and Pepsi used real sugar before switching to high fructose corn syrup in the 1980s, Main Root delivers that authentic cola taste you've been missing for decades. The short ingredient list reflects old-fashioned brewing methods where quality ingredients and careful production create superior taste without requiring synthetic compounds to mask shortcuts. There you have it, 15 mainstream sodas relying on high fructose corn syrup and synthetic additives, plus 3 brands proving beverages can be made with real ingredients. Before your next grocery run, remember that ingredient lists tell the truth, marketing slogans hide. If this changed how you'll shop for sodas, hit that like button, subscribe for more content exposing what's really in your food, and share this with anyone who deserves to know the truth about what they're drinking.